Welcome back to the COS Business Podcast. My name is Andrew Hasley, and I'm the host of the show. Today I have on Jasper Axelrad with Tobala Cuisine. And can you tell us what you do in a sentence or two, or a few sentences?
God, no.
Okay.
I can try, but oh my goodness. Thank you for having me on first of all.
Yes, definitely.
And thank you for talking with me. As you can already tell, and most people who meet me already know I'm a pretty high-strung person.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you accepting that energy in.
Yes, of course.
So Tobala is a food truck. It was rebranded from Mexican cuisine to creative cuisine so that anybody who came on board could create whatever they wanted. And
Really, like your chefs? Okay, sweet.
So that it wasn't limited to one type of cuisine.
Okay.
And we also are able to source with local farmers so that we can utilize Colorado and stay Colorado infused in our ingredients. So that's been a really fun venture swap. We've had a lot of pivots with it, and it's brand new. We started like at about the same time as you, so
August 2019, right?
August 15th was our grand opening at Lost Friends.
I think mine was August 18th.
There you go. See, there we go.
Yes, we have business babies. They're the same age.
Exactly. Yeah, and so it's become absolutely incredible. Actually, I never would have anticipated or expected a food truck to be such a connector piece. Mm-hmm. And it's really done just that in the community.
Yeah.
So it's been so much fun because I've gotten to meet so many people and other business owners and do multiple business collaborations. So their business is getting seen and we're doing fun food with it and they're having awesome product. And at the same time, we're able to do things that we're boosting morale in the community because everyone knows 2020 was so 2020.
Yeah, for sure.
It was just not a fun year. So that's my few sentences towards Tobala.
Okay, sweet. Well, I can't wait to get into that more in this episode. I'm going to roll the intro music, and we'll get started.
All right, sounds good.
This is a show where we have real conversations with entrepreneurs and business owners who are mostly in Colorado Springs, doing things in the community of Colorado Springs. One of our sponsors for the day is Atmos Planning. Atmos Planning is changing the way business owners and real estate investors are served by the financial services industry. They take an innovative approach with their personal CFO model to help visionaries maximize their net worth, impact, and quality of life. On top of all that, their clients typically save 20 to 30% in taxes, even if they are already working with a CPA or bookkeeper. If you have a goal to reach $1 million in revenue or more, a $1 million plus real estate portfolio, or even $1 million plus in after-tax profit while making an impact on the people around you, then schedule a call today. Their website is atmosplanning.com. ATMOS planning.com. I like to just, go with the flow. I'm kind of a fly by the seats. Fly by the seat of my pants kind of guy.
There we go. I'm kind of like that too.
Yeah.
Very much so.
For sure. And there's definitely pros to that and there's definitely cons to that too. So it's like,
oh my gosh. You should have seen. I love these people. Samantha Sargent, Danielle McCarthy, with Cash Women and Wealth, and she does doTERRA, but they do 1 million cups, right? And they try to give you up 1 million cups and I was so scared.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah, it's nervous. You're on a stage. It's a little different. It's a little more nervous than even this podcast because you're on a stage talking to people.
They let me do it on Zoom, and I don't mean let me. It was mostly because we were in another shutdown, and so I was able to come on during Zoom. But they were all very welcoming about it and very, very
they're great
kind.
people. Yeah.
Yes.
And Brandy, is she there too?
She was there. She was on it, and Brandy Nunes, man, I can't wait till I get to hang out more with that girl because she is a force of nature.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. I really dig hanging out with her as well.
Yes. See, this is amazing. The community of Colorado Springs and the people that even just the people we've gotten to meet are so creative, they're intelligent, they're passionate, and they're driven. Mm-hmm. And these combinations together and the willingness to work together and collaborate is the most beautiful and fun thing I've ever seen.
For sure. And I hear that a lot. And from people who have been to multiple states, been to multiple places, started businesses in multiple places. And I don't know if it's just the current climate of the world. I don't know if it's specifically Colorado Springs, but I think it's a little mixture of all of them, like.
I really think it's Colorado Springs. One thing that's so unique about Colorado Springs is it's 85, I think it's about 85% small local business. So
okay. Do you know the average or
compared to others?
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at, again, I'm from Houston, right? Mm-hmm. When you look at huge cities, they're not like that. They're these giant conglomerates, and they're, your Targets and Walmarts and Costco's and all these bigger businesses. But here, you not only do you get to know the local owner, you get to know the people, you get to know the regulars. And so even though the Springs is growing, right,
it's
exponentially,
growing,
there's still such a small town vibe that I can come sit and talk to you, and we know mutual friends people. It's incredible.
I think that's the amazing thing. I think it's, in the Goldilocks zone, I guess, because it's still technically, compared to Houston, it's still a small city.
Oh, it seems so tiny to me.
And, I don't know what the population of Houston is, but even compared to Kansas City, this is still a small city. And granted, Kansas City does have a small town kind of feel, but it's got over 1.5 million more people than Colorado Springs. So that's
what are we at in Colorado Springs?
Including the suburbs, which is something I like to include, which is like Falcon, Manitou, and Fountain. Including that, it's around 700,000.
Yeah.
700, 800,000, and including Kansas City's metropolitan area, it's around 2 million. But if you look at their populations, just the cities, they're literally one under each other. One's Kansas City, and then it's Colorado Springs.
See, and then from Houston, right? You get these 34-lane highways. So I say, if you can't cross 5 lanes in 5 seconds, you can't drive there.
34-lane highways? Are you kidding me?
Not at all. And then on top of it, they're tiered layer highways. They're all crazy.
What's the population? Do you know?
Yeah, so your greater Houston area combined is closer to 6 million.
Okay, so it's like Denver, kind of, in a lot of ways, I bet. So.
Well, Denver's so compact, right? And they've gone vertical versus Houston, which is so widespread. So you're already looking at areas like Galveston, Pasadena, and Katy would be your Fountain, Falcon here. But they're so spread out. So Denver, like I said, super compact, but eventually Denver and Colorado Springs will probably become a fusion in a way.
Yeah, they kind of already are.
Dallas and Houston are.
As soon as there's a bullet train that can go in between, it's game on.
And they're talking about a train for Dallas to Houston, so it's kind of the same thing, just much bigger.
Yeah, for sure. Is Houston the one that's on the coast, or the one that's close to the coast?
There is yes.
I guess the South Coast, if you would call it.
Yeah, Houston's pretty close. Galveston's on the coast. So that's about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour from Houston.
Okay.
From Houston downtown.
Gotcha. I have not been to Texas yet. I may be going to Nashville next week, though. So
really?
Yeah, so I'm excited.
Are you going to play the ukulele?
I might as well, you know.
Oh my God, you should totally do it.
Not going there for music, but might as
well.
well.
I've heard nothing but incredible things about the music there.
Yeah, same here. And it used to be the music capital of the world. And it may still be. I don't know. I think LA's more of the music capital of the world. I don't know, actually. I think the internet kind of leveled the game, the game, and it's everywhere is the music capital of the world.
I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. And you know what I'm learning is just the talent that people have. Like Q, right?
Yes.
Q's got incredible talent. Or oh my God, I was just telling you about Tony Exum Jr., right? You hear him play, it's so soulful. But
he's the saxophone guy, right?
He plays saxophone.
Okay.
He's just a remarkable person. But these people have studied and they've trained and they're so exceptional. And every person is so talented. I'm you see the people who are on stage and I'm these people can rival them too. They're just as talented.
Yeah,
It's pretty incredible to see.
For sure. So let's talk business.
Okay, let's do it.
I love talking about other stuff too. That's why I encourage that actually on this show. But I'm interested to know a little bit more about Tobala and maybe I guess we could start with it's still a pretty new company. What do you think have been some of the reasons why you've been able to gain so much traction?
Well, I think there's several factors to that. So I'll give a little bit of background on why Tobala was started. So we went into the pandemic, right? And that happened around February is when we started getting shutdowns. And
around 6 months into your start, essentially.
No, this is before I started Tobala. So the first shutdown was in February. It started about February 2019, right?
No.
If I'm not mistaken.
It was a year ago.
Wait, where are we? Oh, 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
I like February 2020. There we go.
It was like March when it really kicked in.
That's right, because I just got my house here in 2019. So
Gotcha.
I'm a dental hygienist.
Okay, nice.
So the dental offices were getting closed down, right? And when the shutdown happened in 2020, there we go. Thank you.
I know the COVID-19 throws it all off because it makes you think it happened in 19.
Well, it throws me all off to begin with because they renamed. But anyway, I like viruses a lot, so we could totally talk about that sometime too. I'm a super big fan of them.
Okay, so you like the spread of viruses?
I don't know so much about the spread, but I really
I was just kidding.
I was like, I'm really fascinated about them. I actually
The
have
biology
a tattoo of one on my brain.
Really?
I have one on my neck. You probably can't see. It's a white tattoo.
Like viruses, like the actual biological.
I like RNA ones. I like bat-borne ones. So I'm very familiar with the coronavirus family in general.
That's crazy.
Over 100 strains. And if you look at your Lysol bottle, it actually says kills corona, but that's been on there for years and years and years.
Yeah, because there's been multiple variants of it. Yeah.
So it confused me too with the 2019 because they renamed a strain of it for 2019. But back to the business side.
Yes.
What happened was all these places closed down and your third-party delivery services basically monopolized and capitalized on it. So your Grubhub, your DoorDash, your Uber Eats, and I got pissed because I'm a ginger, right? Ginger snap. There you go. I'm like ginger snap.
That's great.
So it really annoyed me because what they did is they cut the rate on the drivers, so then the drivers didn't make as much. And on top of it, it was kind of your only way of getting food unless you went to the grocery store. And for people who were reasonably scared, who didn't want to go in public, that became their source of getting food. So Tobala was going to be a delivery-based food truck originally, where we were going to do 12 meals a month for $180, including the delivery, and we were going to deliver by zip code and pay the drivers the full amount, and they keep the tips.
Let me shut that off real quick.
I was like, what is that? That's pretty.
It's not
cool.
It's not for me.
That's kind of cool that it does that, though.
It would be cool if it worked, but it doesn't. I could let you in through that thing if I wanted to, but I can't because it's not even for my office, but it's in my office. So
that's hilarious. At that point, I'd be shooting darts at it.
Yeah, it looks like a little piece of expensive technology, so I don't want to break it because I'll probably have to pay for it.
That's true. I mean, yep, we've got the duct tape on it anyway.
Yes,
so
I already
MacGyvered it.
Yeah, I already got it blocked off. So yeah. So that's actually kind of frustrating because it does interrupt my podcast, but it's all right.
I thought it was pretty.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. But yeah, so by the time Tobala actually opened, so our grand opening was August 15th, right? By the time it actually opened, places were opening up at some capacity. So we didn't need to do the delivery side of it.
Okay. So you didn't. So did your business start in 2019 August?
Nope, 20.
Okay,
Sorry.
20. Okay.
I just can't I couldn't even tell you what today is if you ask me.
That's perfectly fine. I just needed to clarify that. All right.
Nope, we started in 2020 just with you. I bought my home in 2019.
Yeah. I started it in 19. So I'm almost 2 years into
it. Okay. So I'm younger than you. There we go. I get to be younger than you. Take that. If only my wrinkles matched. Yeah. I'm like, if only I could get the wrinkles younger.
Okay. So the business started because of COVID happened, essentially. The idea of it kind of, started because of crappy third-party delivery services.
So I'm in dentistry, right? And I'm feeling a little insecure about whether or not the offices are going to close. And I also do... I also do consulting work with dental practices and providers and things like that. So that's always really fun for me. So I knew I could keep that going if I needed to, but I wanted to do something kind of to give back in a way. So we did our launch, and our launch included something called Support Our Supporters, which gave back to 125 individuals. So it was 25 COVID nurses and 100 deputies. And I joined, and I'm not sure if you are familiar with BNI, but I joined this incredible group called Dynamic Alliances.
Okay.
And they are just remarkable people. They have been my supporters. They have been my go-tos, my friends, and everything when it comes to business, because I have no background in marketing or business or anything. And I was just like, I'm going to start a food truck, right?
Yeah.
And so I joined this group, and they helped me all the way. And 23, so there's like almost 50 business owners in this group. 23 of those business owners gave their trade into baskets to give out to 125 of our primary supporters.
Nice.
So Tobala gave free meals to all of them, right? And then we got together 23 different business trades. So that might look like free paint consultations or prices off of heaters and plumbing or chiropractic work with Edio Chiropractic. Like all these different businesses gave in to create these really fantastic baskets of financial wellness, of comprehensive wellness, like I said, your chiropractics, your overall health, that kind of thing. Then we had the bling with Swarovski crystals was in there, and we gave them to all these individuals who have done so much for our community and have been so overworked right now. So that was kind of our launch. And then from there, it just became one thing after another, where we started just doing community stuff with different businesses, like with Hat Distillery. They are fantastic, by the way. If you haven't been.
That was a cool place. Seeing all that whiskey.
Oh my God. Well, they do incredible things. Like they have something, and you should ask. So Ashley Choi and Montana Horsefall are both up for best bartenders in the Springs right now.
Okay.
And they are incredible. And what they have done is they created their own, it's an agave liquor, but it tastes like whiskey. You would never know the difference. So if you ask for like an old fashioned from them, tell them to teach you about it, because it's incredible. So I found them. They've got this carbon fiber bar, just like really gorgeous place. And I asked them if it would be okay if we did fine dining dinners with them. So we started doing these really cool fine dining dinners through Human Interest, actually. So it was really interesting.
Human Interest, is that a company?
It's a really big conglomerate. So Katie Winland is a rep for Human Interest. And what she would do is for any business owner who did a 30-minute phone consultation, right, they would get a free dinner from Tobala. That included 5 courses and pairings from Black Hat. So the business owner would get it for free. Tobala would get paid. Black Hat would get paid. And it would all come from this. And they were in the Forbes Top 50 last year because they're just such a huge corporation. Yeah. So it wasn't too much skin off their back, but it helped them get potential leads. And with what's happening now, if you have more than 5 employees, you've got to have a 401k plan.
Okay.
So it gave them an affordable, like super affordable 401ks for sure anyone who needed it.
Yeah.
So it just became these things where we were able to do like taste experiences and pair stuff. And we did like a Ready to Rumble where they did, because the owners there have some awesome cars. So we did cars and cocktails and Tobala.
Yes.
It was just this community thing where we got to come out and do different areas. We had a huge vegan following because we're vegan and keto friendly and vegetarian friendly. Yeah. And we're also like gluten free, most of our food. So all of these things let us get different areas of the community coming out, and the vegans supported us so wonderfully. So we did Viva La Vegan to say thank you.
Viva La Vegan. I like it. So a lot of community events is what is it seems like a huge strategy for your guys' business.
Yeah. I mean, it's so much more fun that way.
Yeah.
Like instead of just rolling by yourself, you get to be with another business supporting them who's also local, and the people are awesome, and then the community is awesome, and it gives them something fun to do.
For sure.
So I couldn't imagine, but it became such a connector.
Yeah. Our next sponsor is Vehement Visuals, my video production company. At Vehement Visuals, we really help business owners grow and save time using the power of strategic video production. We don't just want to make a pretty video for you, we want to actually get results, and we are determined to make sure that happens. We separate ourselves from videographers because we are here to serve businesses and business owners to really help them make an even bigger impact with what they do. If you'd like to schedule a strategy call today to see how we can possibly help you, then go to vehementvisuals.com and fill out the form at the bottom of the page. So where were we?
Well, we were kind of talking about how Tobala kind of got on the map more as a community connector, which was really, really fun.
Which is cool, and like you didn't even expect that when you started this.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I was expecting to be doing deliveries. We haven't done that at all.
Not even one?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
We did like party deliveries, right? But we never did any kind of what I was thinking originally when everything was on shutdown, where we're delivering food to people's homes so that they are not having to leave their home. And we never needed to because we were able to open back up. But it's just become like even during this time's been so challenging, especially the second shutdown, because of the restaurants and the breweries and the bars, right? Like a lot of them closed and they are not going to be reopening. It hit them so hard. So
they had to liquidate everything essentially.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even tell you, like Carefree Bar and Grill, I absolutely love them. They sold the only thing they own, their home, to pay month's rent one more month, because they opened right before the first shutdown, and the marketing money they put in they built out this bar. It's beautiful. They put $250K into this bar, built it out, and their food's incredible. They're Native American infused, woman owned, if that matters. But I mean, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. And they even used a local tattoo artist to do their mural on their wall and everything. And the marketing money they would have used to promote themselves, they had to put into rent. Like you said, so expensive, right? So, like, if we can do things like that, where Tobala, with the following that Tobala has gathered, can come out and give, a free meal or a 50% meal for any drink that they buy with them, or do things like that.
So are they still trying to make it work, or?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Everyone is.
Yeah,
everyone's still struggling, right? It's like it just doesn't go away just because we reopen. They're still having to make up for months and months of hurting.
No, for sure. Well, I was just saying they're still open though, right?
Oh yeah, they are.
Okay, sweet.
And they're awesome.
Yeah,
I can totally connect you if you want.
Yeah, we should have them on the show. I'd love to help support and get some awareness for them.
Cynthia's gonna kill me.
Oh yeah, she doesn't like being on shows.
I couldn't even when I do these Tobala Food for Thought highlights.
Yeah.
So I close Tobala for winter, right? We're gonna open. In fact, we're opening the week of the 9th. It's coming.
Do you still
up.
do your dental stuff?
I do consulting right now.
Okay.
So and I do a very I do unique approaches on that. So I'm very much preventative on my medicine, and I believe in being aggressively preventative, and I like to teach people what that looks like on a comprehensive level, because I think of this as the gateway to your body. It
is, and they say that the mouth, you can tell someone's health just based off their oral health.
Very, very much so. In fact,
you can even predict, you can predict some certain things, I think, actually.
I
don't know.
It's incredible. So I actually did, my thesis in dental school was on type 3 diabetes as a form of Alzheimer's, directly related to gum disease, periodontitis. So like I said, and weird analogy, let me take us on a little train here, but if you think about it, right, your teeth are the only exposed bone in your entire body, right? So your bones are wrapped in layers and layers and layers of tissue so that they are so protected. They're the lifeline, right? They create your blood. They create all of this. Yeah. So any bacteria that affects your teeth, right, is not good bacteria. You don't want that getting into your system. And it does. It gets into your bloodstream. So when you kind of think about it that way, you're like, these are the only exposed bone. You don't want bacteria hitting that. So, and the other thing that I really think is very important is a lot of people feel so judged when they go to a dental office. They think dollar signs and pain, right? And this is something that I think is completely reasonable for them to think. And so I try to work with providers to help them, reassure a patient that there's a lot we can do. It doesn't have to be the most expensive thing they've ever experienced in their life. And it certainly shouldn't be painful. If we're acting preventatively, and even if we have to act restoratively, right, we still shouldn't be in pain. There's ways to prevent it, and there's so much we can do.
Those anesthesia shots right into your gums hurt, though.
They hurt a lot.
They do prevent other pain,
but there's stuff you can put on so you don't feel the shot.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, there's so many other things.
But you feel it going up inside your freaking face, though.
You're like, I've been there, I've done this. You could not convince me otherwise. I'm like, come and see. Well, I'm not practicing right now, but if you ever go to the dentist and you want me alongside you, I will be next to you.
Okay, sweet.
I love doing that.
What are your thoughts on being able to restore cavities?
There's so much you can do.
Yeah.
So cavities are, and most people are not aware, cavities are the most contagious disease on the planet.
Contagious?
It is contagious. It is caused by a bacteria called Streptococcus mutans. You've heard of Streptococcus maybe because that's what causes sore throats.
Yeah. You love viruses, huh?
And that's a bacteria. Yeah. I love micro.
Yeah, you love micro. Yeah.
I love all of it.
Yeah.
But that bacteria is very much linked to familial history and to your genetics and what your bacterial flora looks like in your mouth. So you can treat that with so many different things. And it doesn't, when it comes to restorations, depends on how bad the cavity is.
True that, yeah.
But like, there's something called an incipient lesion where it's just in the enamel. It hasn't actually breached the enamel. Those you can actually restore with things like fluoride. And people are really worried about fluoride, and they've got reason to be concerned, but there's a difference between topical and systemic fluoride. So like, this is where I come in, right? I can actually help people learn the difference so they're not worried about their brain or their bones solidifying with fluoride, because it can do that systemically. It won't do that topically. So these are all things I can talk about.
Systemically meaning you're ingesting it? Or? Okay.
So like if you're in a system or in like a small
area. So don't
eat
toothpaste.
Please don't eat toothpaste. And please don't give toothpaste to your animals. If it has xylitol, it will kill them.
Okay.
So please don't do this. That's another thing. Xylitol is a great way. There's a whole protocol with that, and it's a type of sugar. It's good for diabetics, and the bacteria that causes cavities can ingest it, so it kills them. Okay. So there's so many ways to combat it. I love this stuff.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
I love talking about it. Yeah, that's cool. You're providing some valuable information.
Well, I'm thinking about making videos about, 10-minute videos about things people can do that are cheap, easy, and easy access for them so that they can get better oral health and better comprehensive health. And what that looks like. Like if you're immunocompromised, what do you do? If you have diabetes, how can you protect your gums? Because that's a direct correlation. Yeah. So there's so many things.
For sure.
I love it.
So do you plan on making Tobala your main thing, or do you want to continue doing dental stuff?
Oh man, I'm all over the place. Tobala, I want it to create, and this is something interesting we could talk about, right? Like, because you just, mentioned you're trying to find an intern, right? That works well, that you can work with and train and get them to the level where you need them to be, right? Tobala was made, I'm owner, not operator. My God, you should see me try and make mac and cheese. It's a problem, okay? Like, I would burn the whole dang truck down.
So what is the difference between owner and operator?
So most food trucks out there, and there's some freaking amazing ones, right? The person who owns the food truck is also in there cooking. They're the chef. They're the cook in there.
They're usually the chef, typically.
Right.
Okay.
And I created a business model. So my food truck, I don't run it. I can't drive it, first of all. I drive, like I told you, I lived in my car for a while, right?
Yeah,
so like I drive a Prius. I'm very happy with my Prius. I can see all the way around in my Prius.
Yeah.
I can't drive a 30-foot truck. Don't ask me to. So one, I can't drive it. Two, I can't cook. I'm not a cook.
Okay.
So, that means that I hired employees, right? And I put them on W-2. I created this business model where the employee would get $3,200 base salary. We would do customizable percentage of of commission on top of that, customizable benefits, and then we were going to implement 401ks come spring, so that it was a true business model.
For sure.
But again, I'm from Houston, totally different environment. Here in Colorado, we're at a right-to-work state, especially in the food industry. And what I've learned from so many people is there's such a high turnover. And when you're a small business, having a high turnover and trying to give someone that kind of salary pay, it's not feasible. So I'm having to learn.
A new challenge that you didn't expect.
Exactly. So I'm having to learn what that looks like. So when I asked other food trucks, how do they handle employees, or other restaurants, how do they handle employees, there's so many different ways they're doing it. They weren't doing W-2s for the most part, right? Because that's a totally different ball game when it comes to taxation, because you're paying their taxes and you're doing these things. And I really wanted to do that, but I'm not sure that that's really the right avenue for a food truck. So we're in the mix of working on some other ways of getting it running in a leasing type of scenario.
For sure.
Where someone can have their own LLC and run Tobala and make their own funds, right?
Oh, okay.
And so to me, that seems far more reasonable, because them as their own owners, right, can make a lot more funds, and they can also...
is it kind of like a franchise?
It's not a franchise.
Okay.
No. I'm super excited. I think Munchies is opening soon, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to be doing.
Okay.
But it's not a franchise at all. What it would be doing is more of a collaboration. So... it would be under Tobala's name. I would umbrella them, obviously. With
basically, your Tobala's subcontracting them.
But they'd be their own contractor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they'd have their own business, their own LLC or whatever it is, and they'd be their own owners, and we would split a percentage.
Okay.
And it would make it so much easier. They can.
Are
choose
they
when
using
wanna
the
work.
Tobala brand though? Okay. So that's where it's like a mix between a franchise and a mix between this cool new idea I think you got going on.
I think it's fun. It allows me to do something unique, and it allows someone else to have a really flexible schedule, make some really good money, and do it on their terms. Because I'll tell you one thing, I'm not as a manager. I can't micromanage. I can barely make breakfast for myself. So I'm like...
So how did you start Tobala? Did you have to get funds? Did you have to raise funds? Because especially going with like the salary model you were going with.
Yep.
So you got like a business loan essentially?
Nope. So one of the things that I'm over here like, I'm Jewish. Can you tell by my nose? I really like I really like finances. I love credit cards.
That's hilarious.
I really like credit cards. I love helping my friends
nice.
With budget, with people who don't have credit. That's another thing I'm looking at doing, is helping people learn how to get credit who don't have credit, people who have credit, how to make it better, and then people who have good credit, how to gain money off their cards, because that's what I love doing.
Okay.
I use like 9 different cards, and I make money off of all of them.
Interesting.
Credit cards shouldn't make money from you, right? You should make money from them.
Okay.
But this is what I talked to Danielle about on what wine women and wealth. Or coffee chicks and cash.
Yes, that's
there we
it,
go.
yes.
Yeah. But when I started Tobala, right, I had already saved a ton of funds. So I actually don't owe anything on it. I paid for it outright, and
nice.
And I didn't want to have any debt. So what I did is I did an owner's loan. So I took from myself and I said, I'm going to pay myself back this amount, right? And to keep myself accountable, I went through a financial advisor, and I made sure that I put finances in place so that no matter what, I stayed in the green with it.
That's awesome.
So that was the idea. And then working obviously on other things, I found an affinity. I've never built a website before, but I built Tobala's website. My God, please don't judge me for that, because it's not the best. But
I think I was looking at it. One one just little piece I'd like to throw you away. Just add some description of what the business is. Because
Yeah.
I'm glad you have a video there, but the video works best when there's actual like words that go with it as well.
And see, when we closed down for winter, I took the schedule off
Okay.
too. So right now we're up for Best in the Springs. Very, very excited
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that. So we're actually, like I said, I closed it for a winter to try to refigure out the business model in general. But also this is a slow time for food trucks.
For sure.
And it's just hard because it's cold.
Yeah, yeah.
But what so nice about it is I've been able to do these Tobala Food for Thought highlights, and I'm not sure if you've heard of Two Native Sons, but like they've become very good friends of mine.
That's awesome.
And I've been able to do that through them.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they come out and we've been highlighting businesses for free. So like our last business we highlighted was the Chicken Coop, which is incredible. They are like a backbone to Black Forest community.
Okay.
And, you know, Sherry's just remarkable. And I just want to give a really big shout out to her because I know she's going through the roughest time.
Okay.
And I feel probably starting to cry. I'm not going to cry. I told myself I wouldn't cry. I will start doing it.
Okay, we need the tears. They bring viewers. No, I'm just kidding.
Dear God. Okay, well, in that case, everybody watch me cry because I'll turn the color of my hair. Anyway, we did a Food for Thought highlight, and we do those for free for businesses. And that video on its own got over 8,000 local views with 10% engagement, right? And the fact that we're able to bring that to the local community is what matters, because you can SEO and you can get domain security and things like that, and you're looking at people all over Colorado, all over the nation, but it's different when you're connecting to your actual community, right? And so that's where the Tobala Food for Thought highlights really started to come in a big way. So like Carefree Bar and Grill, we did one for them. And we're doing, really, for any business that's struggling or hurting, contact Tobala Cuisine, our Facebook page, because we'll get out there and we'll get you seen. Because that's, like I said, it's totally free.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And it's just a way that I can continue giving back, because that kind of fills my cup. You know, it makes me feel good.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, like I said, meeting people, and each person's an experience, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's really where it's become just an amazing thing.
Yeah, yeah. I 100% agree. I did not expect starting my business to make me feel as connected as I am.
Is it?
And it was a whole new benefit that I didn't even plan for. So
I feel like part of my heart's been open,
right?
In a way.
Yeah.
and so one of the things we are going to do, because like I said, we have been closed, we are opening back the week of the 9th. One, to say thank you for letting us being nominated for Best of the Springs. We're up there with, you know, some other fantastic food trucks. Obviously, Lobster Trap, Lobster Bob's amazing, and Go Fish with, you know, she's incredible, and just all these other food trucks that are already amazing. But we're gonna do a Best of the Springs week, so we're gonna partner up with Black Hat, and we're gonna partner with just blanking right now, but they're up for like 5 different. Train with Joe. He's won many times Best of the Springs, and so we're just partnering with businesses that are all friends. They're all fantastic, wonderful friends.
Nice.
And Tobala will be there to support them and to support ourselves and show, you know, the community just to thank you for saying you like us.
Yeah. So where can people go to vote?
Well, my website, if you go to tobalacuisine.com, there's a vote here, and it's right there. You can vote for all the Best of the Springs there. And there's so many amazing companies on there. They're all local, which I love. Again, 85% small and local here. That's something so special.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's no way I could do something like this in Houston.
Okay.
And get to know people the way that, like, we get to know people.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
unbelievable.
I would like to test that theory in Kansas City eventually. But, you know, I'm here though, so it's like I can't really test it there. So
I think you could. I think you could totally make that happen. That's really cool, because you can tap into the community there. Like Houston has a huge network referral community there, but again, when you're dealing with that dispersed of people, the connections aren't as strong sometimes.
I can see how they can get I guess if you start building a connection with a few people, it's easy for a few of those people just to find another circle in different places because there's other circles.
Yep.
In Colorado Springs, there's really only just like one huge circle.
Exactly. And I started, like I said, I found out really I had an affinity for doing social marketing, and I say social marketing, but really it's like social media enhancement, if you will. And that's taking a business, and seeing what they offer to the community and getting them seen.
Yes.
Right? So, like, I'm doing that for businesses in Houston. And I'm doing
Right
it
now?
from here. Yeah.
Okay.
So, like All Clear Cleaning is a business in Houston.
Okay. You sent the request yesterday.
They're awesome. I love them. They're fantastic. Again, local owned in Houston and operated. And my brother's got a business called Axelrad Bradley Real Estate there.
Okay.
And so my friend Delara, like a lot of my friends have businesses in Houston. So I'm starting to try to help other people in other areas.
What are you doing for them to help them with that?
So I do a lot of when I can't sleep, I do a lot of like flyers, or I take their color schemes, their logos, their designs, right? And I fit it to different groups that match, right? So if people are looking to raise awareness about mental health, I can go to the groups where there are people looking for help with mental health and show them this is a resource for you.
Okay.
Whether it's free, whether they're discounting it for them, whether they just need to find someone to talk to, I can help them get seen in those groups. And so that's what I started doing because, I mean, let's face it, a lot of people don't watch the news. We don't read newspapers. We don't watch magazines. It's social media now. That's really the forefront, our final frontier. Maybe not. I have no idea.
Yeah. We got some cool things coming in the future.
Here, like, peace, love, and prosper.
I can do it with both hands. I used to only be able to do it with one.
Oh my gosh. There was this thing where you like try and like go back and forth. Can you do it?
Okay. I can do
very
it this
good
hand.
at that. That took me like a year. I'm not good with coordination.
It was my left hand though. I used to draw a
Oh,
lot,
Lord.
so I can't do it with my right hand. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Look at us. What are we doing?
I love it. This is exactly what we should be doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I love it. This is exactly what I do.
Can you do business in peace?
Yeah, right? And prosper and love, right? And then YOLO.
YOLO. Hang loose.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, so I guess we could start wrapping this up. Is there anything else you'd like to cover or say?
Just a big thank you.
Yeah.
Again, for letting me come on, for letting me YOLO with you.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
That's cool.
Yeah, and just, like reaching out and being willing to take me in because I am, like I said, I'm a pretty high energy person.
I love it. I think it's been a great conversation and a great episode.
And thank you for talking about teeth, man. I could do that all day.
Okay.
really-
Maybe you should start a dentistry.
I think that, I moved here originally, right, to start a preventative care practice.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, I lived in my car for 2.5 years
And then
prior.
COVID kind of just like.
Well, I worked for Perfect Teeth for a while.
Okay.
And they were the 7th largest. I'm not sure if they're the 6th largest DSO, like giant dental
Yeah, they're
conglomerate.
a big, I don't know if they're a corporation or a franchise,
They
but I
are.
do see them in
They're a
multiple cities.
corporation. They're huge. And they've been buying up dental practices. So
okay.
realized, right, if I were to start a dental practice right now, because Colorado is one of the areas where I can start a dental practice as a hygienist without a doctor.
Nice.
And it's amazing the rights that you have as a hygienist here. So that was actually my original goal, but I didn't want to put that energy in just to get bought out, right? Because that's what's
okay.
going on a really large
Well, you can only
scale.
get bought out if you sell.
That's true. That's true. But I can't rival prices at Comfort Dental and Perfect Teeth. That being said, right, I think there's something to say for you, the quality and care that's given. So I still very much have a lot on the plate for that, where
Yes.
I really want to get involved in that. And I'm not sure exactly what that looks like.
For
but
sure.
I'd love to do a comprehensive care practice that allows for everything from mental health to dentistry and everything in between, pediatrics, oncology, all of it.
Well, when you start that, we're going to have to get you back on the show and talk about that.
Sure. Definitely. I think Colorado is a great place for it too.
For sure. Well, this has been the COS Business Podcast here with Jaxel. Does that ever happen?
Dude, I get it all the time. It's Jaxelrad. That's the thing. I'm telling you.
Jasper Axelrad with Tobala Cuisine. Check them out. Go vote for them for the best in the Springs, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
Yes, you're welcome.
I appreciate it.
If you'd like me to read an ad script at the beginning of every episode, or in the middle, or at the end, promoting your business, then reach out to cosbusinesspodcast@gmail.com, or reach out to me directly, Andrew Hasley.